one of the first things I wanted to talk about with both these games is villains slash main final boss type thing, as they both handle things in a very different light. And with that in mind, I'd have to give better boss main villain to Up Your Arsenal. See, with Up Your Arsenal, the main overall villain of the entire game is Dr. Nefarious, as he's returned from hiding after being quote unquote defeated by Captain Quark and is ready to take his revenge on the Solana Galaxy. The reason he's such a good villain is because he's smart, ish, and he actually has a plan that could be devastating to not just a galaxy but an entire universe. He creates the Bio-Obliterator, which has the ability to wipe out all organic life in the universe by turning them into machines, which is something very sinister at that, which he actually gets started on and turning some planets into nothing but machines. Sure, his plan fails ultimately in the end, but he's actually smart enough to actually go through and evil enough to actually make it happen. Which, at that point, how could you not see how cool a villain he is? And his actual final boss fight is actually cool. You fight him in 3 waves, whether it's in the first small arena, whether fighting him along the pathway filled with tons of enemies and other hazardous traps, and then the final fight where you've got him teleporting, climbing into his Bio-Obliterator, and it turning into a fucking mech to fight you. That's just so much fun right there. As a kid, like, as hard as the fight was for me, that was still a great fight. And in contrast, you've got going Commando and Captain Quark. Dude, I'm sorry. Quark was neither a good villain or good hero in his time. His whole motivation stemmed from after being, humiliated in the first game and being revealed to helping the actual villain, Chairman Drek. He went on a downward spiral after that, getting put in jail, getting sued for his crotchetizer, which didn't work. Don't ask. There's a lot of chafing involved. So he breaks into Megacorp and takes over the guise of Mr. Fizzwidget, the head of the company, to unleash the Proto-Pets, which were designed to be basically just like, your everyday cute, adorable pet. The problem is it was very volatile and could eat people. Not something you want to see on your trip to the petting zoo or in your local pet store. Like, Mommy, I want this one with all the sharp teeth and glaring eyes. You sure you don't want something else, Sally? I want this. I'm sorry, this pet store does not condone nor take any responsibility if your kid's face was eaten before the purchase was completed. I'm sorry. Anyway, he plans to use the money from his bad crotchetizers to move to a different galaxy and spread the Proto-Pet menace somewhere else in another universe, just so he can be the hero who saves that universe. It's just, it's not a great plan at all. And when I think about that, it's like, this is just ridiculous. Sure, the Proto-Pet menace could be a serious threat to the galaxy. But the problem is, for Quark's plan to work, for him to be the hero that saved the universe, he would need to have a plan to stop the Proto-Pet menace. Angela, another Lombax, did have that. She had a remote which was supposed to sort of neutralize the Proto-Pets. But did you really think Quark knew how to work the machine? No, not even close. He put the batteries in backwards. And he transformed the original Proto-Pet into a giant monster, which just ate him. And the remote to turn him back. So it becomes a final fight with the Proto-Pet, which fires fireballs at you, crushes the platform you're standing on, vomits up more protopets. It's a it's a pretty long fight, unless you have the rhino. But overall, it's just Quark as a villain not so good because the problem is he was eaten. Like, even if Ratchet and Clank weren't in the way, he just got eaten, so his plan would have failed anyway. So it's like, at least in some degree, if Ratchet and Clank weren't around, Nefarious could have still succeeded with his plan. Quark wouldn't have gotten the chance to succeed at all. He would have just been eaten, and that would have been that. The Protopet Menace would have just ran rampant, and then all that for what? Nothing. Fame for nothing, just him to be gone. So, in regards to villain, I have to give it to Up Your Arsenal. Going Commando just doesn't hit the same light in my eyes. The next thing I wanted to go over is weapons. Both games have a variety of weapons, some my favorites, some not so much. Like Going Commando, my favorites probably have to be the mini nuke, shield charger, synthenoids, the bouncer. Then there's Up Your Arsenal with the plasma whip, the quacktastic gun, the rift inducer, but I have to give it to Going Commando for just having the best weapons, and I say that because of the experience. Every time you kill an enemy and go forward, you level up your gun with experience, and once you reach a certain amount of experience, the gun evolves into its best form. And Going Commando does that best because it only has one state of evolving, which I'm fine with that. Up Your Arsenal splits up differently, as you can evolve weapons normally to level 5, and then in the challenge mode, which is basically New Game Plus, you evolve them to 10. It's a lot to level up that high. It's a lot of going back, grinding enemies, and such. And yes, some of the enemies in New Game Plus do hit hard, which I understand may require more work, but I'm just not into the time sink necessary. Sometimes, even some of the guns I did have were still not enough to finish off enemies like I needed them to. As most times, you could just pull out the old Rhino in Up Your Arsenal and just vaporize enemies, which worked all the same. So, with that in mind, I think I'd prefer the simpler method of one stage evolution over 10. It's just better time-wise. The last thing I wanted to talk about is overall difficulty, which kind of determines how games go for me. Like, I don't need a super hard game to beat sometimes. Sometimes I just need something nice, simple to play, and Going Commando does that for me. Sure, there are difficult points in the game for me. Like, I could think of the planet with the frozen yetis on it being probably the worst, but you don't need to fight all out and get everything on that planet to progress the game, to get to the end of the game. Which, thankfully, I suppose there's that. But other than that, most of it was fine. Like, sure, the proto pets overrunning a planet was tough, but you could easily just turn them into animals for the most part, or have the synthenoids and the shield charger as an equal balance in the favor. As with Up Your Arsenal, there was a lot of points in the game that just really were pushing my buttons through the roof. Like, one thing I always remember is the coordinate gears fight as being ridiculously annoying as a kid to just get past. Or the airship, before you saw the coordinate ship gears music video on, I think, Planet Drax, was it? Then there's later in the game, once aliens start getting turned into machines by Dr. Nefarious, the green-looking alien, the tall green buff-looking aliens with a laser gun, those hit the hardest. As even on New Game Plus, they were just ripping me to shreds. Even if I had the best upgraded armor or not. And seeing as they show up a lot after that point, it just, the game difficulty shot through the roof as I was just getting bullied. And just thinking about that, I have to think, like, at least with going Commando, it wasn't as bad of an issue. Even on New Game Plus, the game wasn't, like, insanely difficult, as it was still a nice, fair balance in between, whereas Up Your Arsenal difficulty just kind of spiked, which is kind of why I haven't played Up Your Arsenal's challenge mode as much as going Commandos. It was just too hard, especially as I didn't want to have to do the insane grind to level up my weapons to 10. It was a lot. And they also costed a lot to get the mega versions anyway. So with that, I have to go with going Commando. And with that all in mind, this is kind of the things that I see going Commando being the better between the two. Sure, Up Your Arsenal provides more of a challenge, has some extra stuff for you. I have to go going Commando just because it's a nice game to play, pretty fair difficulty, nice set of weapons, and just a breeze of a challenge as I can just breeze through the game without really having to worry about anything. And I love that because this game means so much that I can give so much care and attention to playing it, which is why I hold it so high in regard. Sure, I still enjoy Up Your Arsenal, but if there's any game out of the franchise I have to go back and play, it's always going to be going Commando. So, there you go. What did you think of my thoughts on going Commando versus Up Your Arsenal? Let me know below. If you'd like to see me do another video or something like this, leave a comment, like, and share it up. I'd love to see this spread across the world. And until the next video, I've been Ace. This has been our comparison video, and I'll see you later. Take care, and game long.